Ohai gozaimasu. Good morning, welcome back to Asahi Shotokan Karate with Sensei Scoot. This morning I thought we'd just not really do a huge amount of karate, but talk about Shizentai stances, now natural stances. Now there are a number of these within Shotokan Karate, and sometimes I think it's very easy for beginners and lower grade students to become very confused with them because they do look similar. Okay, so just thought this morning it would be quite a good thing to just point out the differences between some of the Shizentai stances. Okay, so the first one is we bow, and if you check, feet are together, so heels together and toes pointing out at an angle of around 45 degrees. Okay, this is called Musubidachi, and Musubidachi forms one of our natural stances. Now whenever we bow, we always are in Musubidachi. Then we yoi, and our feet open, okay, and we are then in Hachidachi. Now Hachidachi along with Musubidachi forms part of the Shizentai stances. Now Hachidachi is a kind of natural stance, our legs are here and we're just relaxing, waiting for our next instruction, maybe from our instructor or examiner, etc. Okay, so Musubidachi, heels together, toes pointing out for bowing only, and Hachidachi, open leg stance, yoi position. People think this is called the yoi stance, and that's actually a slight misunderstanding. Hachidachi means open leg stance. Now if we turn the feet in ever so slightly, this forms uchi hachidachi, which again is part of the Shizentai stances, but not one that we do a huge amount. Certainly not beginner level, lower grade level. It's much more higher grades that tend to know more about uchi hachidachi. So all you do there is where your feet are naturally sort of open, okay, from hachidachi, you just turn the toes in slightly so they're inverted. That's the right word. Okay, so hachidachi, uchi hachidachi. And then the fourth stance, I think, is probably the one that I'm most keen for students to understand correctly, and that is feet together stance. Feet together stance, haisukudachi. Haisukudachi means feet together, okay? And what's important is that your toes and your heels are together. So there's no gaps, because then we start to go into Musubidachi. There's no gaps at the back. We start to then look more of an inverted stance. So feet naturally together, like so. And this is used a lot in karate as a yoi position sort of kind of stance. Within kata, it's used a great deal of times. And I think that's when you really need to have an understanding of it. If you're in a kata and you're doing Musubidachi, you really are doing it wrong. So we need to make sure that we're focusing on the difference between these. So Musubidachi, heels together, toes pointing out, just for bowing, just for rei, okay? Hachidachi, open leg stance, okay? Ready stance, probably the best way to understand that. When you're ready to do karate, open leg stance. Uchi hachidachi, more advanced for black belts, higher grades. We don't use it very often within Shotokan. And haisukudachi, feet together stance, used within many katas. Heian Godan and Heian Sandan are just a couple that come to mind. And then one last stance, haikudachi. Haikudachi is parallel stance. Parallel stance. So the feet aren't open or inverted at all, they're just dead straight. Haikudachi. And that is the fifth of the Shizentai stances. So just to recap, Musubidachi, I'll use my hands to show you. Heels together, toes pointing out. Haisukudachi, heels together, toes together. Hachidachi, natural stance, okay, or open leg stance. Uchi hachidachi, inverted open leg stance. And haikudachi, parallel stance. And all of those form the group that is known as Shizentai, so natural stances. I hope you found this lesson useful, and I hope to see you next time. Us.